Hi, Takeuchi Carlson here. I'll never get tired of the Sailor Moon franchise, one of my favorite animes and mangas of all time, with a great mix of action, humor, romance, drama, and everything in between. There have been a lot of releases of the Sailor Moon anime and manga over the years, and today we're going to be taking a look at a new set that's been released of the manga, or rather the first half of the manga. What we're looking at today is this. This is the Sailor Moon Naoko Takeuchi Collection Box Set Volume 1. I'm going to unbox this release and share my opinion. Just fair warning, this is going to be more of an unboxing video. I'm not going to get too into the actual story and plot of Sailor Moon here. I've certainly done that enough in my other videos on this channel. I'll include a link to a few of those up above if you want to go check those out when you're done watching this video. So anyway, there's the front. Very simple and to the point, but a very beautiful design nonetheless. There's the top of the box, back of the box, side of the box. Bottom of the box has our legalese and barcode. I do wish there was maybe a little more in the way of decor on the package, but it doesn't look half bad. And this actually has a magnetic clasp, and this folds open. There's also a nice shot of the silver crystal here. And inside here we have our manga volumes. So let's take a closer look at what we get in here. Before we get to the actual manga books, we do get one little bonus in this set that you don't get if you buy the books separately, and that's a collection of art cards. So here we've got Usagi, Sailor Moon, Ami, Sailor Mercury, Rei, Sailor Mars, Mako, or Sailor Jupiter, Minako, or Sailor Venus, Chibiusa, or Sailor Chibi Moon. We get a nice ensemble shot of the inner Sailor Guardians there, along with Tuxedo Mask. Here we get the four Kings of Heaven: Jadeite, Nephrite, Zoisite, and Kunzite. Another nice ensemble shot of the inner Guardians, along with Tuxedo Mask. And here you get, three generations of the Moon family. You have Chibiusa, Usagi, and Queen Serenity. And here you get sort of the family of the future. You've got later versions of, Endymion, Princess Serenity, and of course Chibiusa. And of course, as with any anime or manga series that revolves around beautiful women, we've got to have some bathing suit shots. Certainly not complaining there. And we get another nice bathing suit shot there, this time with the outer Guardians included as well. Here we have a group of all the Guardians together dressed in red. The Guardians on top of an ice crystal with the moon in the background. I wonder if this was influenced by the Sailor Moon R movies climax, perhaps. And then we have, Usagi and Mamoru together again. Volume 1, of course, features Usagi, Sailor Moon on the cover. Here's the spine, back cover. And again, these are manga, which are translated from Japanese, so they do read from right to left, which really is the way these should be presented. I'm glad to see they didn't flip them like they do for a lot of stuff. Like right on the front cover, you got a nice color shot of the Sailor Guardians together. Title page. The first book includes chapters 1 through 7 of the story. And there's just some random images. These are pretty much printed on the same kind of paper that manga usually is, so it's pretty thick and actually pretty nice. One thing I really like about these editions of the manga is they actually have translation notes here, which explain some of the Japanese concepts that might be a little foreign to Western readers. I always really appreciate when they do this rather than trying to, mask the stuff or not even talk about it at all. Like there's something here on the Four Kings of Heaven, and it mentions how if you ever play a video game that has an Elite Four or something like that, it's probably influenced by that concept. I'm guessing they probably weren't legally allowed to say Pokemon there. Volume 2 features Ame on the cover, or Sailor Mercury. Back cover. And once again, we get a nice color shot on the inside here. This time around we've got, looks like Usagi. This might be her as Neo Queen Serenity in the future. I can't quite tell. Here's the title page. This volume includes Acts 8 through 14. So this finishes the first of the 5 core Sailor Moon arcs. And here's just a random shot from the middle of the manga. And then once again, we get plenty of those translation notes as well. Volume 3 includes Rei, or Sailor Mars, on the cover. This one doesn't have one of those inner color pages at the front. It's just got the title page. This includes Acts 15 through Act 21. Again, here's some random shots from inside the manga. And again, in the back, translation notes. Volume 4 has Sailor Jupiter on the cover. There's our title page. This has Acts 22 through 26 plus a Chibiusa Picture Diary, Chapter 1, and Casablanca Memory. And some more looks inside at the manga itself. And once again, back gives us some translation notes. Volume 5 includes Minako, or Sailor Venus, on the cover. Here's our title page. Nice wide shot there introducing the book. This book includes chapters 27 through chapter 33. And in the back, once again, translation notes. And the last book that we have in this particular box set, there'll be another box set later that finishes off the manga, is number 6. This has Haruka and Michiru on the cover. This book has chapters 34 through 38. It has chapter 2 of Chibiusa's Picture Diaries and the Kaguya Hime's Beloved special, which was actually the basis for the Sailor Moon S movie. Here's a quick shot from that special I mentioned at the end. You get to see Luna as a human, as you might recall from the Sailor Moon S movie, because again, this was the manga story that inspired that. And once again, the back does give us some nice translation notes. So, brief history of the Sailor Moon manga in the United States. Back when the original deep dub of the series was airing, there were some, standalone manga chapters released from Tokyo Pop and Mix, but I don't think they ever actually finished the series, and if I'm not mistaken, those may have been edited. I never owned any of those volumes. And then, over a decade later, around 2011, they started releasing the manga here in the United States for the first time in its entirety. These releases were still seen as somewhat flawed with some certain translation issues, but overall they were certainly a marked improvement over anything prior to that. A few years later, we got these much larger editions called the Eternal Editions that again combined several of the manga chapters together to the point that it actually took fewer volumes to finish the series, but at the same time these were much larger and more elaborate and did carry a higher price tag. And now we have what are called the Naoko Takeuchi editions, which are essentially a compromise between the older and newer sets. It's essentially what you get in the Eternal Edition, but in a smaller, more affordable volume. And of course, like I said earlier, there's the addition of those translation notes in the back, which are really very nice. So it is good to get the most perfect version of the manga possible. These releases are all available separately, but you can get this box set for the same price as if you bought them separately, which also gives you the nice elaborate box set, plus those art cards I showed off earlier. So if you want to get the Sailor Moon manga, this box set is definitely the way to go. Again, this is only the first half of the manga. The second half will be released in another set in November. And the forthcoming box set will finish out the Sailor Moon manga, but it'll also include the Sailor V prequel mangas as well. I don't know if those have been previously released as part of this line or not. So if you are a fan of Sailor Moon and you don't yet own the manga, I would have to say these are certainly the releases to go with. I mean, if you buy this set, it's the same price as if you buy the individual volumes separately. I imagine it'll be the same deal with volume 2 when it comes out later. So I can easily give this set a very high recommendation. If you already own these releases of the manga, whether you need this really depends on if you want the packaging or the art cards, but I'm certainly giving it a high recommendation. How about you? Are you a Sailor Moon fan? How many different releases of the manga have you purchased? Do you think the Naoko Takeuchi versions are the best ones? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content. I'm always posting new videos, and make sure to give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm Takeuchi Carlson. See you next time.